In 1970, two men who defined life held a dinner where everything changed. Francis Crick and James Watson were sitting in Manchester, England, when they talked about something that wouldn't appear in textbooks for another 20 years. They proposed that life didn't begin here, it was dropped deliberately. And when their paper finally surfaced, critics called it the boldest idea since Copernicus knocked the sun out of center. Not a single major journal ran it. The theory itself, directed Panspermia, claimed something simple but terrifying: that our ancestors came from somewhere else, seeded here through ancient technology that we wouldn't recognize as machinery. The question isn't whether to believe them. The question is whether your biology has always been yours. Let's start with what we know. Human DNA carries something the field calls the universal genetic code. Almost every living thing on Earth, from bacteria to blue whales to the moss on your windshield, uses the same language. Bases pair the same way. Proteins build the same way. It's not a lucky accident, it's too uniform. When Crick looked at this, he saw a signature, a fingerprint. Someone designed the template before Earth was ready for it. Think about this. You could imagine a planet where the code differs, where proteins form differently, where DNA stores information in parallel but different forms. Across the solar system, if life appeared independently, those codes would diverge. Mars should have one template, Venus another. Jupiter's moons would have theirs, but they're all the same code in deep-sea vents, in Arctic ice, in every cell in your body. That uniformity is the anomaly that matters. Here's what's fascinating. DNA has built-in redundancy. Triplets code for amino acids. There's mathematical slack built into it. Programmers call it error correction. The code resists decay. It's stable. When Watson and Crick held that idea, they asked, how much redundancy do you need before you suspect design? Natural evolution produces mess. It produces inefficiency. It produces mistakes that persist, but this code doesn't budge, it's too clean. And then there's the one that's hardest to explain away: carbon. The backbone of life on Earth. The story goes that carbon formed naturally cooled, condensed, bonded into amino acids, and from there life emerged. But carbon's abundance doesn't explain everything. Carbon formation requires supernovae, requires stellar fusion, requires energy states that happen under very specific conditions. For life to arise from that carbon, you need it to cool and stabilize quickly, no runaway chemistry, no destruction. The timing window for this to work is narrow. Think about this. Crick noted that carbon's ability to form stable bonds is actually unusual in a cosmic sense. The elements around us, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, require different conditions. They don't all emerge together unless something arranged them together. And they do on Earth. Every element needed for life appears in the right ratios, the right abundance, the right mix. This suggests prior design. Here's what's stranger. Homo sapiens emerged roughly 300,000 years ago. A few million years before that, our ancestors split from primates. Before that, from mammals. Before that, from animals that crawled out of water. But look at the speed. Nothing in your biology went from bacteria to human in 400 million years and stayed consistent. The timing doesn't fit, started from nothing. You'd expect more variation, more divergence, but across the tree, patterns repeat. Every species uses ATP. Every cell uses DNA. Every organism builds proteins from the same 20 amino acids. It wasn't just biology, it was biology with a signature, and we don't even know it. For hundreds of years, scientists dismissed directed panspermia as idle speculation. But in 1990s, a team at the University of Manchester analyzed the theory. They looked at radio tracers, at protein folding, at how life might travel between stars. The conclusion: life could survive space travel if shielded. Comets carry water, comets carry carbon, comets carry amino acids. Life might hitch a ride on these space rocks, and when they strike, life begins. But here is the part nobody talks about. The theory requires something intentional. You need a civilization advanced enough to seed a planet. You need them to understand the code. You need them to choose which life enters which world. The mechanics of it suggest the choosing was deliberate. They placed life. They tuned the parameters. They prepared the ground, not random. And then there's the lingering evidence that doesn't fit conventional models. NASA's SETI searches for radio signals from other worlds. The Allen Telescope Array scans for narrowband transmissions. They listen for patterns that look engineered. Nothing has shown up. Not yet, but that doesn't mean they weren't here. It just means we're looking for modern signals. The ancient transmission would be millions or billions of years old. It would have passed us by. It's still out there. Think about this. You carry the same DNA code as every other organism. You use the same metabolic pathways. You use oxygen and carbohydrates and proteins, but where did that code come from? Where did it come from? Not from somewhere local. Not from something we could see evolve. It's too integrated, too optimized, too uniform. And here's what's strange. We assume our ancestors were local. We assume that when life began, it began from Earth's chemistry. But what if life came from elsewhere? What if the first organisms arrived? What if the primordial soup wasn't soup, but seeding? For 300,000 years, every human who ever lived has carried the same template. The same thing that happened to them is happening to you right now. Look at your hands, look at your body, look at the code inside every cell. The same code runs in your liver, your brain, your skin, your blood. Not just similar, not just related, identical, bases pair the same way. Proteins form the same way. Genes read the same way. Think about this. If this code evolved here, we'd expect variation. Different species, different codes, different systems. But that's not what we see. What we see is uniformity. What we see is design. But here is what's stranger. The code could have been different. Amino acids could pair differently. Bases could form alternative triplets. The whole language could be different, but it's not. It's exactly what Crick and Watson proposed. Not random, not local, deliberate. And then there's the question nobody answers. How did this code survive? It's too stable, it's too consistent, it's too integrated. It's designed to persist, it's designed to be passed forward. It's designed to carry information across generations. And if it was designed, then it was designed by someone who understood it. It wasn't just survival, it was preservation. For 300,000 years, every human who ever lived carried the same template. From the first Homo sapiens to the last. From the first people who walked out of Africa to the last people who lived before modern civilization. We all carry the same code. The same as bacteria. The same as blue whales. The same as moss. The same as everything else on this planet. What does it mean to be alive if the code isn't yours? What does it mean if it was dropped? What if your biology is a legacy from somewhere else?